Hello, this is Jeff Mucci with RCR Wireless News, and we're here today with Bjorn Smedman, who is CEO and founder of Anyfi Networks. Bjorn, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
Well, your website says you offer software-defined carrier-grade Wi-Fi. Why don't you talk us through how this technology works?
Yeah. Essentially, we've built a software-defined carrier Wi-Fi platform that essentially addresses three problems that we see with carrier Wi-Fi. So one is that it's difficult to get usage onto a community-type Wi-Fi platform, and the main reason is that it's difficult to authenticate devices, get credentials into devices. So this platform lets you reuse existing credentials, like WPA passphrases or SIM cards to dynamically and automatically authenticate devices. So that makes it possible to bring much more devices onto your network. The second part is quality of service. We manage the radio on a very low level. So we provide a software component that you can integrate on any residential gateway, any access point essentially, as long as it has a chipset from Broadcom, Qualcomm Afios, Raylink, or Realtek. And this software manages the radio on a very low level and provides admission control. So it ensures a high quality experience for end users. Then the last part we address is the security. In these types of networks, you can rarely trust the access point because the access point could be in a cafe or in a subscriber home or something like that. You don't know if somebody's fiddled with the access point. And our architecture tunnels the raw encrypted 802.11 traffic through the access point and into the operator's network. So you can be absolutely sure that the data comes from a mobile device with your SIM card or with a WPA passphrase from your fixed line network. I'd say that's a very quick intro to the platform.
And you mentioned this is clientless. So how does my network recognize my device, and how does maybe walk us through a little bit better how the carrier will manage that quality of service?
We have two solutions for onboarding devices essentially. The first is the traditional EAP-SIM, EAP-ACA method, where essentially the user experience is one big, huge Wi-Fi network distributed through millions of residential gateways potentially. And your device is recognized with the SIM card in the device. And the reason your device connects in the first place is because the operator has pushed a profile with OTA or similar technology. So that's a pretty classic standard architecture. We also have a solution for fixed line operators that provides the home Wi-Fi user experience to every subscriber. And the main reason we do that is because we can then we can then bring many more devices onto the network. So instead of a fixed line operator having 10% of subscribers or 15% of subscribers on the carrier Wi-Fi network, you can have 90%, 95% multiple times a day on multiple devices. Just from the fact that it's completely automatic and clientless. So those are the two ways. And in the later case, we identify devices by the MAC address, but we don't authenticate them using the MAC address. That's just used to determine which home network to make available to the device, so to speak. The authentication is still the WPA2 PSK authentication that you typically have in a home Wi-Fi network.
Mm-hmm. And Bjorn, you mentioned that the software is available generally today to carriers and has been under trials for a couple of years or under testing with Tier 1 operators in Europe. How would someone go about downloading and testing your platform?
Yeah, we provide evaluation software on our website, and the whole platform is based around the now growing ecosystem around SDN and network function virtualization. So essentially, from our website, you can download a virtualized example core, and that contains all the components you need to process data centrally for your network. Then you also need, of course, access points, residential gateways with this little software component. And we can help you put that software onto a residential gateway, the residential gateways you have in the field. Or we can also, for a proof of concept, you can also download a firmware image, a trial firmware image that works on a number of off-the-shelf residential gateways or Wi-Fi routers.
Okay, and say I want to do a trial, or even let's say I've done the trial and I want to go to commercial deployment. Can the software be loaded over the air, if you will, or downloaded to the residential gateways in mass deployments?
Absolutely. I mean, the whole platform's been built from the sort of premise that the operator has remote management of the gateway. So typically software is deployed with TR069 as a remote firmware update. You can deploy it on millions of gateways as a remote firmware update. And you can also configure the software, the little configuration that's needed, you can do through TR069.
So Born, thank you for your time today, and we appreciate the how it works overview of Anyfi networks. We look forward to a Tier 1 operator announcing the deployment of Anyfi networks soon, and we look forward to talking at that time.
Thanks, Jeff. Absolutely.
Have a good day. Thank you.
You too.